Hoxie's 4, the most mineral-rich, lucrative mining operation discovered to date. A single trip will fill your pockets with gold and your belly with the finest dwarven brew. Unfortunately, there is one problem. The entire planet is infested. Extracting the ludicrous amount of material is impossible without committing catastrophic occupational safety violations. So, what do? We send in the dwarves.
Deep, dark fantasies.
Deep Rock Galactic is a game I've been playing since it went on a free weekend last year. Now that it's out of early access, there is no better time to cream all over it and tell you all about this fucking masterpiece. You and 3 other vertically challenged, OSHA-violating alcoholics embark on missions to bring back as much loot as humanly possible. But the planet isn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. You're gonna have to figure out for yourself how to get all that loot. Your team has the tools to get anywhere they need, and check this shit out. Everything is destructible. If you thought this would be a dwarven game without any digging in it, you were dead wrong, Leaf Lover. You may have noticed by now that the art style looks a little unconventional. The best way I could explain it is that everything has a lot of unnecessary angles. It looks a little bit odd, but this is fucking essential to make all the terrain look good. You may have forgotten already, but a few years ago when Minecraft was hot shit, there were about 1 million goddamn knockoffs, and not all of them used the voxel-based building. At best it just kinda looks off, but at worst...
What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is going on? What's happening?
You make a hole in the ground and yeah, it looks a little weird, but you don't notice because everything looks like that. The caves, the minerals, the dwarves, even the foam in your beer. This makes the models look a bit simplistic, but once you plop them into the caves and combine them with the great lighting and the beautiful environment effects, that makes this a very pretty game to look at. I might be biased because I fucking love caves like this. They always make me like weirdly nostalgic. You're plopped into a massive, complex, procedurally generated cave, and the game is completely designed around using the destructible terrain to its fullest. Caves generate with a lot of rooms and tunnels that come close to one another, so you can whip out your 3D terrain map, find out where you want to go, and either dig straight to it or just run the old-fashioned way. You have a set of weapons and tools which all consume a limited pool of ammo, and you can call in a resupply if you mine enough nitro. This creates a natural push and pull to missions, since running out of ammo is a real issue, so you're always sniffing high and low for that red stuff. Just don't get crushed by the pod.
Oh. He got turtle foam.
Unfortunately, you are not alone here. Eventually, you will piss them off. Whether it's stealing an egg from their burrows, stealing too much of their gold, or just simply existing, your actions will trigger a swarm.
Combat positions. The swarm is here.
Swarms are waves of enemies that happen every few minutes and force you to stop whatever you're doing and fight. If you're caught away from your team when a swarm hits, you better hurry your ass to regroup if you don't want to end up like Carl.
Oh, alright, we try this again.
Combat is so fucking fun. The swarm structure means that you have to be ready to hunker down and form a defensive position pretty much anywhere, and you absolutely have the tools to do that. It's really great at naturally creating those like epic trailer moments where your whole team is standing back to back and like constantly shooting at all the bad guys. And while you're actually fighting, every gun looks and feels great, and all the enemies are reactive and satisfying as hell to shoot at. And there's a ton of variety to the enemies. There's normal bugs, tougher bugs, bugs that shoot acid, bugs that shoot webs, bugs that climb on rocks, flies, grabblers, bigger bugs, and even bigger bugs. Luckily, we brought the best of the maybe. The Gunner is the heavy weapons specialist. He's got plenty of firepower, a bubble shield generator, and an array of painful grenades. The Gunner is a monster in head-to-head combat and is the veritable center of your team during tough situations. For use outside of combat, the Gunner carries a zipline gun. You can use it to make shortcuts, clear dangerous chasms, or create a convoluted network of ziplines your team can use to get around the level with no hassle. While the Gunner excels at combat, that doesn't mean anyone else is defenseless. If everyone else is knee-deep in enemies, you're just the one with the tallest wellies that'll always clutch through the worst situations. The Driller was born to do one thing: drill. He carries 2 heavy drills that chew through terrain, allowing him to create tunnels, access ways, and safe rooms. Drillers are pretty much masters of the environment. Any obstacle can be overcome with a bit of digging and maybe some high explosives. When you play enough Driller, you stop seeing the world as a set of caves and tunnels that you must carefully navigate, but rather as a set of rooms that you connect together with your tunnels. As such, Drillers are completely content to drill straight towards every single alien egg with no regard for the team's position, triggering 3 simultaneous swarms before gracelessly expiring. At the end of each mission, you call in the drop pod and then run like hell before it leaves without you. But if you have a Driller, he can just dig directly towards the pod while his team provides cover and fire from the rear. On the rare occasion he's not drilling, the Driller also carries a flamethrower and can unlock a goddamn cryo cannon. I think it's objectively worse than the flamethrower, but I don't care. Why would I want to kill normal enemies when I could just cheese the biggest motherfucker straight into the Shadow Realm? As you'd expect from the name, the engineer gets a sentry turret, or 2 with an upgrade. The turrets are great for holding down an area, but if you need even more gun, he's also got an auto shotty and a grenade launcher. For out of combat, he carries a platform gun, which is great for building bridges, making stairs, or just generally maneuvering a complex area. Now, the engineer might sound a little simplistic, but this platform gun is so versatile. If we use the Minecraft analogy, everyone is able to destroy terrain, but the engineer is the only one that can create terrain. He also has a set of grenades, but I've never seen them. Everyone uses the dab grenades. I call them that because they create a holographic projection of a dwarf Fortnite dancing, and everyone knows aliens fucking hate Fortnite. The Scout carries a personal grappling hook, which gives him unparalleled mobility. By design, everything in the game consumes ammo, except for the grappling hook. It just recharges after a few seconds, so you can pretty much always zip around the caves like a runty, alcoholic Spider-Man. Why walk anywhere? This is your life now. Then you might be thinking, that's useless, who cares about the class that doesn't provide mobility for his team? And then you run into minerals on the walls or ceiling. Having a Scout is a huge time saver when the stuff you need to get is high up in a cave. Just plop up a platform and he can zip up and grab whatever it is. You may have also noticed that the caves of Hoxie's are dark, like really dark. Everyone has a headlamp and throwable flares, but those are only good for seeing what's near you. The Scout has a flare gun that can light up entire rooms.
What the hell are you two doing?
Yeah, light is a gameplay element here. You can only fight what you can see. You might think you're safe, but in reality, there's a whole host of nasties crawling on the ceiling under the cover of darkness. It's also borderline essential out of combat, since your team needs to be able to actually see to be able to use their utility. When you get back from a mission, you can unlock perks for your miners and upgrades for your guns. You buy the upgrades with the resources you mine, and they're priced in this perfect sweet spot where you have plenty of work ahead of you if you want to get everything, but there's always something new to get each time you come back to the space rig. Each upgrade is distinct enough that you can make different builds for each miner, but not so essential that you get bullied for having the wrong build. There's also tons of cosmetics to get, and don't worry, there's no premium currency or like menus screaming at you to buy things. There's a couple cosmetic DLCs, but all of those are outside of the game. You have a ton of options for customizing your dwarves, but I just made a couple meme characters and called it a day. I've got Colonel Sanders, Hulk Hogan, Black Santa, and me. Yeah, I pretty much look like this. And once you level up a miner enough, you can do a special mission to promote them. Promoting a miner lets you unlock the hardest difficulty, and you can play that class in deep dives. Deep dives are basically endgame content. You play through 3 missions in a row on the hardest difficulty with shared mineral ammo counts between the 3 missions. You can only play deep dives with miners that you've promoted, and while it does kind of take a while to promote every miner, I think it's perfect pacing. Once you get to level 25, you have a pretty good understanding of the intricacies of that class, and you've had enough time to upgrade all their gear. That star on your profile icon tells everyone else that you don't need to be told what to do. After you're promoted, you can also start to get weapon overclocks, which usually have both upsides and downsides. There's normal stuff like more damage for the minigun at the cost of accuracy, or firing both barrels of the sawed off at the same time, but some stuff is
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect that. That's so goofy looking.
Since all the utility is split between the classes, you actually have to work together, especially in the harder missions. Now, you'd think that'd be a total bitch since this is an online game, but no, this community is fucking great.
Hey, Angie, can we get a platform up here real quick?
Yeah, just need 1 second. Alright, that looks good.
Nice.
I think the real secret is that, by design, there isn't really any room to be selfish or harmful to the team without just going completely out of your way. All the loot is shared and you don't get any credit for being the one person to complete an objective. Even if you say screw your team and run off, you'll either die and learn your lesson, or the difficulty is so low that you don't really matter.
Alright, we try this again.
Most of the annoyance that your teammates cause is born from their inexperience rather than just them being cunts. Working together is such a fucking blast. You're always trying to figure out how to best get from point A to point B with the tools your team is carrying. Sometimes you'll even learn more about the classes from the way your teammates play them. Like here I learned you can use the Driller's satchel charges to clear dirt in a pinch.
That's it, lads. Rock and
While you definitely have to rely on your teammates, you aren't fucked if you're missing a roll. You can always figure out a way to accomplish the job of the tools you're missing. Like if you don't have a scout to zip up to grab some minerals, you can just waste a few extra platforms to get it yourself. Or you can be like this 10,000 IQ Chad driller and just call a fucking ammo drop on the aquaric. You also have a laser pointer to ping stuff, which is pretty much the most communication you need to have with your squad when everyone knows what they're doing. And at any time you can press the dedicated button for Rock and Stone! Complete an objective? Rock and Stone! Kill a big enemy? Rock and Stone! Too quiet in the caves? Rock and Stone! All the voice acting is fucking great. The dwarves sell themselves as very clearly dwarven, but not one specific flavor of dwarf. These aren't Tolkien or Warcraft dwarves, these are the premier space mining dwarves.
So far, so good. Second stage of the deep dive is commencing. Get it done, stay alive. Get to the drop pod alive. Management is depending on you.
And they are very talkative. Even if your team isn't really using voice chat, missions are never truly silent.
Take a discipline, whale piper!
Out of ammo!
Hey, I'm stuck! Please, shoot him! None can stand before us!
The music is incredible too. Tracks will switch out based on what's going on, and the music really fucking sells moments like, oh shit, a swarm's coming, or we need to hightail it the fuck out of here. It's all 80s synth, which is kind of a genre now, I guess. It works amazingly, but if you ask me what dwarven music would sound like, this would have been the last thing on my fucking mind. I would have guessed Windrose. The composer said they tried to carve out a dwarven synth niche from the 80s synth genre, and I'd say they fucking succeeded. I was listening to the soundtrack while working on parts of the video, but I had to stop that since it just made me want to quit working and play some more. Currently the game is sold for $30, but if that's too much for you, it goes on sale pretty often. I picked it up for half price when I originally got it. If it looks fun to you, you should get it and, play, but I don't care. I'm gonna go play some Deep Rock now. Why the hell are we down here anyway?
I can't
I
remember.
can't fucking revive you. Now there's fucking bugs in
Yeah,
there.
the winds blew me. And then
Oh shit!
No!
God damn it.
No!
He's scaring me to another goddamn area code.
No! I think there's a trawler about. Ah. Oh, there it goes.
What was that?
Spectacular ragdoll, that's what that was.
Hey, do you like my costume?
Why are you covered in goop?
Because it's like...
Why are you black?
What do you mean, why am I black? Am I not allowed to be?
It's black.
Yeah, what? So what?
That's not his skin tone.
Yeah, black people exist. Is Santa not allowed to be black? What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, Santa
what's wrong?
can't be black. You're just...
You fucking racist. Yeah, dig that wall, fuck boy. Dig that wall, dig that dirt.
Hey, you can't grab me through the fucking wall. That's just cheating.
No, we'll get you. We'll save you, don't worry. We're coming for you, buddy. We'll save you.
I just glitched. Instead of my okay, speedrun strat. Instead of drilling through the dirt, you just get grabbed through the fucking wall.